Let's make sure we're set. Hey, everybody, how we doing out there?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We're with. Oh, thank you, Hannes.
Hannes!
What?
Wow.
Hannes?
That's my guy.
We're waiting for Ian. Ian's troubleshooting something else, so we were talking about food as we often do, and
Weird. It's true though. Like every behind the scenes has
That's true.
some opinion that everybody's like,
it's the thing we're most passionate about. I think it's
It is.
universal.
yes.
It wasn't an argument this time, which
No.
was a nice
No.
change of, an interesting change of pace at
It
least.
got heated,
No,
just not an argument.
Okay, so
We just got
let
worked
me-
up.
All right.
Let me ask you guys a question, because strangely enough, me and Brian's food opinions cross over a lot. There's one front where we'll never totally agree, and that's okay.
It
We're
happens.
both grown men. We took different paths in life. That's fine. But when I say I'd like a sub, what is the first thought that comes into your head out there? Because subs, hoagies, grinders, sandwich, like wherever you come from, there's a
Grinder.
Grinder is a
Yeah.
thing. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
around before
It's-
the app.
It is. It is. It's a
Wait, what is
delicious
a grinder?
sandwich.
Okay, could you explain to me what it
Yeah,
is?
what is it?
A hoagie, a sub.
Yeah, it's
originally the people, the name grinder came along because the people that would work on like ships and harbors and stuff, they would like grind like rivets and stuff like that. And so the guys went to this popular sandwich shop that was by them, and the sandwich got named after the kind of workers who would grind off the things on the boats. So the sandwiches got named
Dang.
after those workers.
That's cool.
Okay.
I have that sitting in my back pocket instead of physics or
Wow.
something.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
This is that
I
crossover I was
genuinely love
talking
that
about.
kind of Yeah, you two in a trivia contest. Like Ryan, I think would win,
I don't know.
but it would be close.
Oh,
I
now
do-
I
should
wanna
have
test
one.
that.
I do
Yes, I
well.
wanna test it.
I do well because Jason picks topics that he's passionate about, and there's that overlap.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah,
I
You
would.
should-
I would
yeah.
lose.
I would lose
I-
so hard. I'm still devastated. Every year for my birthday for the last like 5 years, we always play Horror Trivial Pursuit. I'm a horror maniac. I love horror movies. I love horror media. Jason has beaten me every single year, I think.
no.
And it's just
It's
because
not
his
even-
general knowledge is so much better than mine.
Yeah.
Happy
I-
birth shame.
I the way my brain works is I get like, okay, if we're in the store, I get overwhelmed with conversation, especially here. But I pay attention to things like someone's name tag or what, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like things like that. That's the stuff that's so in a horror movie setting, that works to your advantage because slasher, it's like who did it usually. So unless it's, like Jason, like we know who did it, but
Part
You
of
know what I
my
mean?
problem is always going to be if you ask me who the actor who played someone is. I
Oh,
don't
God,
fucking
yeah.
know. I know everything about that character's
Yep.
backstory. I know it
Yep.
is
Yeah.
the novelization of the thing.
Well,
but I
Kane
don't
Hodder was
know.
the most prolific Jason. He started back in 6, I believe, and continued through Jason Goes to Hell. He didn't go... He wasn't part of the process for Freddy versus Jason because they wanted a taller actor, but I feel like we missed some of his body acting, the way he
I do
kind
think
of
that.
like-
I agree, actually.
I couldn't match you with
Okay.
names like that. I could tell you that Nancy from the first Freddy Krueger movie, Nightmare on Elm Street, she starred in a sitcom called Just the 10 of Us, where the father
It's true.
was played by what the whole show was actually a spin-off of Growing Pains. But I can't tell you names the same way that you can do that.
How many
Uh,
times did she return to the franchise, Ryan?
Oh, see, like I said, I can think of at least twice, but not my strong suit.
If you're counting a New Nightmare,
Yes.
Wait.
That's one of the ones I knew about.
Yes. Because you're still counting, I think it's 10, where she weirdly comes back one last time.
Good for her.
Welcome to Dungeons and Trivia.
I'm just waiting for Ian.
we were waiting for Ian, but I think he's too pretty to sit with us
Yeah,
now.
I was going to
That's
say,
fair.
is he actually going to show up? Or are we just
I mean,
I think he's...
us waiting for him is how that should be going. We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. like he's our pretty friend. So like we gotta, we knew him.
When I jumped into where he is, it sounded like he was listening to a tutorial on how to fix something. So,
Aw.
yeah.
Oh, so it's
It's
gonna be a while. Yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
Well, that man.
Should we
okay.
get started?
Yeah, let's do
Should I
it.
add him or like?
He'll figure it out. Like I guess, like Adam, I guess, but like
Adam just
yeah.
to like let him know, but like we have enough.
He might
people
be
here
lost in tutorial hell where he's trying to fix one thing. I've been there.
Mhm.
Adam and let him know he doesn't have to show up until he's ready. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah,
exciting when he
that's
does.
No pressure.
That being said, hello everybody. Welcome to Extended Rest. Some of that may get cut, all of it probably. In the
I have an opening.
oh
Ooh.
yes, sorry. Go right ahead. You're right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Extended Rest, where we kick back, look back, and unpack everything our heroes have been through in the past month's episodes. Today, we will be discussing episodes 7 through 9, The Heart of the Matter, Grand Theft Aubrey, and Not a Heist. So sit back, grab a snack, and let's relive Theria one episode at a time.
Wow.
All right, now you can
Wow.
take over.
Amazing.
Wow.
That was so well done.
Solid.
I loved it.
Thanks.
Do we do like
Take-
introductions or?
We should because yeah.
Yeah, probably. I'm Brianna.
No. Keep going. You
Yeah, what-
took
what
the
do you do?
reins.
Yeah, you run
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I'm Brianna. I am currently running this episode of Extended Rest. Usually, I'm mostly a background person, scheduler. I will be performing at Theriathon. So excited. Going around the table, starting with Jason.
Hi. I'm that guy who sits in on every episode. I am present most of the time.
It's true. And Ryan.
Hey there, everybody. I'm your friend Ryan, and lately I have been hiding from episodes, but I'm always lurking, ready to pounce.
And Jasper.
Hey everybody, I'm Jasper. What am I doing? I'm playing Ruby, Ruby Pettigrew on Frostbourne. Otherwise, just hanging out constantly.
And Kelsey.
Hi, I'm Kelsey, they them, and I play Anavriel on Java, which is the Patreon show, and that's a lot of fun. Ryan's also in there, but he didn't introduce himself that way, so I'm pointing that out for him.
Terrible.
And I will also be playing Theriathon next week. No spoilers, but yeah, one of the new characters in Fort Frostbourne. Think big and cold.
My
and-
apologies for being a hack.
Yeah,
We
Kelsey,
accept ish.
Kelsey, I'm intrigued. Where could one listen to this Java you speak of?
That's a good question. So if you go to is it patreon.com/DANDR? Correct?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. There's quite a few episodes in there. It's a show where Bree actually gets to DM, and she does
do,
a
yeah.
really, really good job, and we
Oh,
have
thank
a lot of
you.
fun. We play a bunch of young adults that get up to shenanigans, shall we say? And yeah, we're actually about to go on a little adventure as a group, so it's a lot of fun.
Did you say patreon.com/DANDR?
I did.
Is it
Ryan.
podcast? No, it isn't. Go ahead. Sorry.
We should all go there right now. But in the meantime, since we can't.
Yeah, it's just DNR. We're good. And currently, last but not least, and I'm not sure if that's even true, Susan.
Hi, I'm Susan Spinator. Pronouns are she, her, and I play Nythera Rylith on Group Frostbourne on the main show, and I will also be playing at Theriathon, but not as Nythera.
Ooh. And potentially just some silence, but maybe Ian.
Hi.
Oh my God! He actually showed up.
What timing?
Amazing.
It's Mr.
I'm
Thinks
Ian.
he's better than us. Look at it.
It's Mr. Unmedicated is what it is.
Oh
Aw.
Aren't we all? I haven't been able to get Ritalin
Yeah.
in many a month. It's cost $200. Did you know
Oh.
that? For
Oh,
man.
to be better and healthy
don't
in
lowball.
this United
230.
States.
I just want my email pills. That's all I want.
Yeah. I will say this. So, I needed testosterone, and my God, can I say the outreach for that is far more. I was just looking to bitch, but everyone was so kind reaching out. And I did find it for $50 instead of $600, which is the difference between homelessness and being medicated. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
And that's in a nutshell. Anyway, hi.
Love that we get that choice here in the U.S. It's a
Yes.
choice. It's your choice.
It's truly
baby.
freedom.
And thankfully, no one's trying to put any more barriers up between you and that medication that you need. So
Right.
anyway,
Super
definitely
easy
not to
get.
screw over like 0.2% of the population.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, everyone. Thanks for
yeah,
being
we're glad
patient.
you're here.
I'm glad I'm
Good.
here too.
Did you finish troubleshooting whatever it was?
Yeah, well, I was playing around with I was on another computer. I was playing around with reactive images, and I had I had Discord open and everything like that, but I didn't have like a mic or anything hooked up. And I was like, that should be fine. And then Susan hits me up and she's like, hey, what you doing? And I'm in my own little Discord channel on Respect the Crit. And then Bree hits me up and is like, hey, you're live. And I'm like, is my mic on?
Oh, no, we were live. I'm sorry.
No, I know, but I figured it out. But I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot. Am I broadcasting me
That's
just
so
in my
funny.
underwear here at home?
Oh,
Ian,
no.
we can see everything. I just want you to know.
Oh, God.
Well, if you didn't already, you did now. So
That is my actual nightmare. That is the reason that when I take a shower, my phone goes behind something, even though, I know that's on there's billions of people with iPhones in the world, but just in case, just in case.
Do you know,
This one flips up, so I just flip it.
I had a thought like that a couple of years ago. My deepest fear is I'll stream myself accidentally just editing or something all day and fiddling around, and that'll be the most popular thing we ever put out.
Skyrocketing. Yeah.
Like
And-
one of
and
those
there's clips of it,
ignoring
like
you
a TikTok.
streams that
Yeah, yeah.
DOMs can put out. That it's
Yeah.
Imagine the little clips we could put out on TikTok, Instagram, all of those
Yeah.
places where it's just 30 seconds of you just staring.
just middle
Or it's,
distance.
or it's like
Another one.
just six hours of breathing ASMR.
Me hung up on something in After Effects, and I just go, oh, just 30 seconds of that. Speaking of which, we're getting ready for Theriathon next Saturday, guys. We have a bunch of cast members returning to the fold, coming back in for Arc 6. And in between that, we have a train wreck sampler for you in the form of Resurrection. So if you like Ryan and Susan and Tom and Tyler and Jake,
There you go.
I can't believe we
I'm-
talked you into that.
I am working.
I
I'm
can't
working
believe
on a way to summarize what they've been doing. And there's no version of it that doesn't end up with Dead Hooker. There's no way I
No.
can
Yep.
describe the last 6 months.
I believe her name's Rachel. Or
Yes, Rachel.
It
Well,
wasn't
that was
even
my
Rachel.
pseudonym.
It wasn't her. Yeah, it's just, yeah.
oh right, no, yeah, they were after Rachel, and then just
Yes.
got
She was
Sure,
Rachel for
that's
the right price. That's all right.
Yes.
And we
Nothing wrong with
found the other Rachel fairly quickly and easily. The right one.
I love Jake being a sleeper agent against the party, but constantly trying to
but not asleep, just on coke.
But also sleeper agent against himself.
Yes.
I love a D&D character that's been alive for years that shouldn't have lived through a single episode.
yeah.
Like Jake should have the kind of legend that Karen has, and he does not, and that's weird.
He's still in his first character. It sickens me.
Yeah.
13 years. 13 years of Jake. 7, 8, and 9. These are the episodes we're going to be discussing today. And
Yeah.
8 was a big one. 8 was 2 or 3 sessions glued together because we just there wasn't a good
That's
stopping
why-
point.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That one's half an hour
notice
longer
at all.
than usual.
That's
that means I did my
good.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Because there
seamless.
were, yeah. So episode 7. So building up to Aubrey, right?
Mhm.
That's the first city we're really getting a chance to explore. Like we did Winter Haven a little bit, but that was our let's get on the road thing. I would love to know, for people listening or who aren't actually in the campaign, like, what were you hoping to see from a place like that? Because we're almost done with it in real life. I think we got another episode that is in Aubrey, but like we explored for hours and hours. So like, what were you hoping to see that we did cover so far, or something that we haven't gotten to?
I mean, I'm definitely interested in knowing more about what the whole religion thing going on there is, and like what the whole deal is with the like the like the creepy guards, and also like the like their like non-magic like warmth thing. It's like there's like I am like fully expecting this to be like an Omelas situation where like there's gonna be like a like dying child that's powering this somewhere or something. Which, to be fair, that might just because that's what happened to my group on the last season of TNR. And it's like, and so I'm just expecting there's going to be dead children around every corner. Like,
there's going to be hundreds of thousands of dead children.
Yeah, exactly. It's like anytime there's some like mysterious helpful magic thing going on, it's like, where are you hiding them, Jason?
Where are you hiding the children?
They are the mortar that holds the bricks of the city together.
Oh God.
In these episodes, you introduced two very interestingly competing things. Number one, the unstoppable faith-based super soldiers, and I'm looking forward to see if they got the regular super soldier serum or the Hydra super soldier serum. But also the single teamster that we've been introduced to is also apparently under massive threat from his life, what one can only assume is a criminal organization. So, you know, what I want to know about is, so
what's the underground situation here? Is like, there clearly is something of one. Like, how do they exist there? Like, that's
exactly. And is it possible for them to exist without the church knowing about it? I'm interested. I'm interested.
A church couldn't be corrupt.
Actually, here's the most important question. Going back, sticky with episode 7, I think this is right.
Yeah.
I can't keep track of what happened with episode, but where is Therian Australia? This is what I'm dying to know.
I feel like that's been. I always interpret, like, if you actually asked for an answer for that, I would say Kodai.
But what's the context for the question for people that might not remember?
The mask lady, she had a very distinct accent, which I was like just surprised by, and also like, Jason, you did a really good job with it. But I was just like, where is she from? We haven't heard this one before. And also, you're just like,
sometimes you just need a new voice.
Like totally. I'm just like playing around.
Yeah, that. It was cool to hear him do that accent.
I love when the Australians come out.
Yeah.
It was at Fort Frostbourne too. Like the wagon driver came up and was like, "God, good day, mate," and I was like,
"Oh yeah,
yes.
Awesome.
I will never say that I'm good at accents, but there are little differences. So, our mask friend is more Kiwi than Australian, just because of the way they pronounce certain words. And the only way I know that is because there is a stunt person that appears in a lot of Tarantino films, and she's awesome. She's super badass.
She was the wagon driver, right?
Yes. So
I
in
love
the
her.
and
She's adorable.
Yeah, she's fucking amazing. But like, she's one of those stunt actors that just broke through, and it's like, yeah, you're just in the films now. And
That's awesome.
She's very Kiwi, and you can tell there's certain ways they pronounce things that I find very interesting. There's accents I can never pull off, and then there's ones that's like, I can imitate that. I can get through a conversation. Like,
New Zealanders always sound like they're asking a question. It ends in the
Yeah,
the
there's
end,
a little.
like
It's almost Valley Girl. It's a little bit of
Yeah. Got dialect coaches here. I'm loving this.
I can't, like, I just can't do accents. I've given up on that. I can do voices, and I am going to do a voice at Theriathon, locking it in. I'm doing it.
Ooh.
Yes.
But when it comes to accents, it is so easy for me to drift. Like it's way too like I can't do one accent. It just becomes every accent that's in my lexicon, and I watch way too much television for that. So it's like I can't keep them straight.
Was it a Patreon group you decided to do a Scottish accent, or was that in a
That
show?
was a Patreon one.
Oh,
Thank God
Scottish
it was
is
not in
Patreon.
the show.
Can
It
we
was
get-
not
Oh
in the show.
God.
It was
not
just
in the
it was
show.
just a Rob accent, right?
No, she shreked it up
Just
trying
hard.
to be-
Like it was
I shreked it
so.
up real good.
Can we get
I
a
like-
teaser? Yeah, a
Give me-
little
give me-
teaser of the
yeah, come
brogue.
on.
A little bit of that brogue.
God damn it, no. I do want to say that to practice that accent, I watched Luck of the Irish. Because I was like, you know what? If
A
I'm going to
movie
be
famous for how it's really good in its depiction of Irish people. That's
Exactly.
what that movie's about. It's about
Also-
respecting Irish culture.
The Irish and the Scots love to be compared. Just
Oh,
interchangeably.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Same thing, really. I mean,
God, free.
it was bad. It was real bad. It lasted an episode, and then I think my character died, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Bree, can you just in the accent, can you say "grease me up, woman"?
What?
Grease me up, woman.
yeah.
That was good. That was good.
The only reason I think I was like brave enough to do that is because I was like, I think Willie from Simpsons said that at one point. I could probably do
That's
that.
yeah. That was the Grease Trap episode. Yeah. That was,
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. He did say that in verbatim. I'm losing my Simpsons quotes. I have to rewatch the whole show.
Thank you.
It was group 3
God.
on Patreon.
Well, thank you, Rachel. That's very nice. Okay. So I think it was in this cluster of episodes that I said I don't think it's possible for us to record a bad episode of Frostbourne.
Mm-hmm.
I stand by it now more than ever. I defy.
It's true so far from what I've heard. It's good.
I'm so happy with what you guys are doing. You guys are just knocking it out of the park, and I can't wait to introduce more characters into everyone. I mean, Jameson's too good for us to be here today, but like, you know, everyone else is really.
Jameson didn't want to relive the memory of that restaurant.
Oh God. I
It
had
is-
so much fun editing that.
Yes. Oh, I
restaurant.
could tell. I could tell. You had a
Yay.
Yeah.
Because I was listening to it while I was driving, and the first time it looked like you had the train pipe play. I was like, what the? I was like, what is happening?
That's good.
That one was from specifically the train one was from the BBC sound effects library. That was I knew to go there. Thank you. Jasper was the one who sent me the link
You're
to that, and I
welcome.
was like, you know
Oh,
where
that's
I
great.
bet? And they had so many trains. It was great. So that's why you hear like 4 different types of trains. I couldn't pick a favorite. And I was like,
Oh.
I don't think they would have picked a favorite either. They seem like a kind of all train sort of
Yeah,
establishment.
yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yes.
One of my favorite things is to, like, as a DM, is to watch people's faces and then go off of whether I'm doing. And usually, it's, oh, you're enjoying this. I'm doing it right. With Jameson, it's the opposite. If I get true hatred out of him, and it's like, okay, and then there's an art to it because you can't push it too far, or he'll want to push past the seams. So you got to keep him on a slow simmer. And it's,
And I think the brilliance of that scene in particular is like this is a huge character moment for Logren specifically. It's like you're talking to one of the former nobilities of your people. Like this is your entire plot line that you care about very, very much. Choo choo, let's go.
And so this is Bonzo's, right? So
Yeah.
Bonzo's is, I mean, it's I think it's cobbled together from steampunk and
Hard Rock
craziness
Cafe.
and train
And
and
Ruby was
Chuck
just
E.
in the center
Cheese.
like,
oh
wee.
my god,
Yeah,
really.
no. When Ruby went the next episode
Yeah.
and had like a great time, that was
was
just
good.
that was perfect.
And
I
I,
love
said,
that-
thank you, Jason. Now I can just copy
Yeah,
and
yeah.
paste all the sound effects.
I love that it was a litmus test for our characters too. Like it showed like who we were as characters, who was on this side of the line and who was on this side of the line.
yeah.
Yep.
Is Bonzo's? There was some talk about it maybe potentially future being a chain. We might eventually run into more Bonzos in other town. So does that mean like they're going to have the shirt shops, but they'll have the town? There will be a Bonzo's, but it'll say Aubrey underneath it, like the Hard Rock shirts.
Fort Frostbourne should get one. Oh my
Yes.
god.
I mean, listen, our merch shop is updated fairly regularly these days. I feel like Bonzo's is coming up pretty soon, everybody.
Oh, now we're talking.
Thank God. Yeah, I mean that's a slam
important.
dunk right there. Let's.
Yes.
There's a
I want
Bonzo's
a
in the
Bonzo.
Pentagon.
Yeah,
That actually reminds me. I wonder if we can get away with Jasper made like it was for fun. He was like, "Hey, I just made this graphic for fun. It's one of the best graphics of this arc so far. Is the Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
but it has
Yeah.
all your
Grand Theft
characters
Auto,
in
yeah.
it." And I'm like, "That's gorgeous. I wonder if how long they'd let us print that on a shirt before they pulled it."
Mm,
They got Batman right away. I remember they got the Batman hat right away.
yeah.
But-
I think take a swing. Like worst thing they could do is say no. Like just
You
know.
like distort it slightly. and make it-
If you write satire in the description, man, you can get away with a lot.
Maybe.
Oh, there you go.
They're working on
Let's
6
see what we
right
can
now.
do.
They're
and especially
busy.
like if it doesn't just like say Grand Theft Auto, it says Grand Theft Aubrey.
Yeah.
I suspect Theriathon, which is on May 31st, 2025, coming up from noon to midnight Eastern time. There may be some merch drops happening during that time. Think about it. You have to show up to find out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Does Bonzo's have a world famous dish, and what is it? So, while we're okay, every once in a while, like I'll come up with a concept, and usually it's food based when everyone pounces on it, and then they just start adding new things, and it becomes it's like when you had Legos but not a complete set as a kid. So you're just like, well, it's a spaceship, but also it has wheels, and it's you just start adding things to it. So it's like, well, we had this loud steampunk place, and then like Moe's Family Feed bag got introduced to it, like it's a Simpsons thing. Of course, we all jumped onto it. So the $1 Million Birthday Fries gag, and then it's like, oh, there's crazy shit on the walls, like every Friendlies and Chili's and like all that shit, and like we just kept adding stuff to it, so that by the end of it, it was our restaurant, and I fucking love that so much.
Yeah.
Like
I like I'm not sure if it's actually canon or if it was a throwaway joke, but I liked the moment where it's like, hey, there's like a food challenge, and Ruby's like, yeah, I'm already wearing the shirt. I won. I did it.
It's a breakfast challenge. It's a breakfast challenge.
It was a breakfast challenge. Yes, it was a breakfast challenge.
there's not a part of me that's like, no, that's canon. Like that is
That's
absolutely
totally
that is
canon.
like yes.
I feel like Bonzo's may be the kind of place that would have like all you can eat friders, like you remember the spider legs that kind of like crab legs.
Actually, I think you mentioned like there was like a legally distinct blue, not something onion. It certainly wasn't.
Onion.
That's
yeah,
true.
it was
That's
a-
true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, but that could be the frider. It could the legs
It could be the
open up.
frider.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, if you like cut the spider legs, then it would be like
Oh,
16.
delicious.
So
I feel like Bonzo's too doesn't have it didn't ever pick a lane to stick in. It was like we've got an
Yeah.
all-you-can-eat buffet and hot pot.
Yeah.
And like,
Yes.
Gordon Ramsay would lose
Right.
his goddamn mind if he went to the
Right.
restaurant.
Oh,
and
you
then
just-
you
you
Steak
just-
Factory. You
There's
You do
open
not
the
want
menu
to
up.
want to see what's going on in the kitchen. Like,
Yeah.
No, it's just nonsense.
Yeah. For Ruby, I mean, this is how she, honestly, probably the first time she was able to like quiet her thoughts, like just for a little while,
It has to be.
in a long time.
Oh, it's
That's
like you at Hard Rock at every Dragon
yeah,
Con.
every year you're like, guys, can we go to Hard Rock now, please? And it's like, we just landed,
And you
Jasper. I guess so. Like,
I really want to
And can
catch
we-
up by not being able to hear one another.
Yes.
can we please watch a bad movie now? And I'm like, you gotta wait, Jasper. Everyone's got to get here.
Terrible.
Oh, I got a good one, by the way. I'm thinking about going to Dragon Con this year. I have an amazing movie. Like it's
You have to.
Ooh, please,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
I want to get as many people to Dragon Con as possible. I want to knock down, drag out big old good time this year. And
Yeah, I need to start looking at like hotels and stuff. Yeah.
Which, if you're listening to us right now, we're recording this on a Memorial Day. Dragon Con's on the opposite end of the summer, right there, Labor Day weekend, right
Oh.
down there in Atlanta. You can come
never
right
thought
down there
about
with
that.
us.
It's like opposite.
Yeah.
Dragon Con's always going to be our baby, I think, right? Later in the year, that nothing is solidified yet. I still am waiting on further instructions and stuff, but we are going to I guess we're just going to put in for guests while we're doing it. I was invited to talk at PAX Unplugged this year, which is like fucking nuts.
Oh no!
And-
Oh
That's
no! I just
awesome.
realized that's where everyone sells all their miniatures.
Oh.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
like that's like a big thing there because it's like all like tabletop stuff, and that includes like Warhammer and those kinds of tabletop games, and so yeah.
Oh.
I'm so sorry, Bree and Elle.
Yeah.
Why, sorry, like, they're not next to me buying shit. Like,
Hey, I'm sometimes not.
Elle owns
Is
more
it-
than me. Like,
Elle's worse. Elle's way worse. But okay, so we talked about the heart of the matter. We talked about Grand Theft Aubrey. Not a heist. Not a heist.
I am so glad that at the end of the episode, Susan threw out the ship name because I was just like, I'm
Oh,
on board.
but that
like,
was Jasper. I gotta give Jasper credit. He's the one
Okay.
who wrote it in the chat. I just said it out loud.
Okay, okay.
What
'cause,
ship
yeah,
name are we talking about? I don't remember this.
Oh, Logmera.
Logmera.
Yeah, it was like I was like, okay,
Adorable.
like the whole like fake dating, but there's actual chemistry here. Like, oh, that's a
The moment
classic.
that-
It's so
Yeah.
good.
that Lagrin reached out and was
Yes,
like,
and he was
"Mine."
like, he's
that
got
was
jealous. And it's just like, oh my gosh, this is so good.
So cute.
I love it.
Gosh.
I
Yeah.
genuinely thought we'd spend like 10 minutes in that store, and that was, I think,
Yeah.
the back half of the episode.
Yeah.
That was what it was.
Yeah.
The guy was so nice. Like, I kind of felt bad for him. At the
That's the
end.
thing. So one thing about the Frostbourne crew so far has been we can take, I'd say Jameson, Logren can take a Nat 1 and turn it around into something really amazing that's going to be great for all of us in some way,
Yeah.
shape, or
Yeah,
form.
it's happened a couple
And-
times.
But the other side of that coin is we seem somehow to take advantage of people, and it's
You're
not
very
taking
good at
advantage of them.
stealing.
Well, that's the thing is that it's not taking advantage of like I'm gonna ruin your career or your business. It's more like
I
just wanna
took a lot
twist
of
this-
potions. I don't know. I'll have to see
But-
whenever you guys
but-
get back to Winter Haven.
well, we took a handful of things, but it was anyway. Bottom line is that it was kind of win-win. It's like we got kind of what we wanted out of it, but also this kid kind of got something out of it too, and actually maybe things are going to be great. It's like, okay, what's his name with the gun, right? It's like, hey, listen, you about killed us, but hey, why don't you and your family go to Fort
Yeah, that
Frostbourne?
was
It's gonna be
good.
great, right?
That was
Okay.
nice.
So then we meet, then Logren, Chimera are talking to this jeweler, and okay, there's some lying involved, and maybe some theft, not a heist kind of stuff.
Not
But
a heist.
honestly, it's like you're stealing for sure, but at the same time, it's like, but somehow I really get the impression we made a friend. And a friend that's looking forward for us to be part of their lives in
And
some way.
nothing sets a better foundation for friendship.
Right.
And, yeah, I was like, I feel like you're really good friends now, but at some point he's gonna realize, and I don't know if it's gonna last.
What'll happen is Logren will end up saying
Plan
like,
isn't to
"Hey,"
fuck him over though. Like
No,
that's
that's the
not
thing.
the long
Logren's going to come up to him at some point. And he's going to say, "Hey, by the way, I forgot to tell you, we really screwed you over before. This was complete lies. Anyway, all
Here's
good."
the deal.
And they'll be like, "Yeah, I guess so."
And also, I need to buy.
Yeah, just that easy.
It's
And it'll be,
Chekhov's
and then
uncut
it'll be a
gems here.
26 on a roll. Yeah, exactly. It'll be like a 26 on a roll, and then everything's going to be fine. Anyway, that luck is going to run out at some point.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, at some point you guys are gonna try and steal something, and it's not gonna go well, and I
No.
am terrified.
The one thing, the way that the setup described of how to get into that shop, where like the locked doors and the big guards, all I could think of is, boy, that sure sounds like what our Teamster partner is running from. That's
Yeah.
I don't know if they're related, but it sure sounds like it could be to these uninformed ears.
Blargalardle.
Blargalardle.
Nice.
Essentially, do you think Logren's going to repay those jewels, either in financial compensation or the jewels themselves? They need the jewels for a thing. We're getting to that, but like,
honestly, I think he would, but in a different capacity. Like, set him up with some sort of trade route, or if we ever achieve the major goal, like,
yeah,
hey,
I was gonna
here's
say, I
some
don't know if at the
coffers.
moment, like, your last offer of a trade route was not exactly.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because since you've been in the city specifically, but every time you meet somebody, what you're doing is paying everybody in Bitcoin, but in 2010.
Yeah.
So, if this pays off, holy shit! All these people who've been set up with trade routes and a ground floor spot in your. But if it isn't, like, Bree, please.
I actually had a question, so like, if you had more to say.
No,
is it about Bitcoin?
So, I'm editing the episodes, and I don't know. I think I'm sure it was mentioned at one point, and I just did not pick up on it. Why can't Aubrey trade with?
Yeah,
Winter
I was
Haven?
also wondering this because that came up, and I didn't hear that being stated.
It's been reiterated. It's been reiterated a few times, but I would like to know the reason why.
So it's self-imposed. Aubrey doesn't. Aubrey doesn't want to trade with anybody. They have a closed ecosystem, so they are.
Oh, so they're not allowed to trade outside the city.
They're not well, okay. If you come into the city with stuff, as long as you don't represent yourself from Winter Haven or from, but like if you're selling goods from Winter Haven, that's not really allowed. Like specifically, it's just a standards thing. They see a long time ago when everyone was rebuilding, Aubrey took a different path, obviously, as you could see, and while that's working out for them, there are certain things that they will do that Winter Haven won't, and they see that as, oh, you guys are just running amok then. Like, you allow vampires within your walls. You allow this. So we will not associate with you, and thus we will not trade with you. So it's self-imposed.
Okay.
But I got a question for everybody here, actually, and the chat. How can I put this? When remaking Aubrey, like 112 years have passed, all that stuff. Obviously, I think a lot of people, specifically from me, hear very religious city, and it's kind of locked down, and they think total hellscape, right? They think an abuse of power. We've done the Carter thing, right? And that was a totally different thing, but I can see why I got a couple of emails that it's like, oh, I could see where this is going. And we do get things like bonzos. We do get safety within the city. There's a low crime rate. There's 100% orphan, or like orphan placement. There's all this stuff.
100% orphan placement.
100% orphans.
They're going somewhere.
They are being.
That makes me worry about what Kelsey said before.
Yeah, now I'm a little.
It's like Little Caesars. It's hot and ready. All right. I don't guarantee anything else beyond that. Like,
what you're saying is like there's a little religious fascism, but themed restaurants. So like,
well,
it's a win-win.
Well, okay.
Basically the United States. Yeah. It's like...
This is not okay. What I'm asking, I guess, is specifically. Ian, Susan, and Jasper, you've walked through the place now. You've interacted with a bunch of stuff. You've met people there. What does it feel like to you? And for everybody listening, what's the vibe you get? Because I can write all day, but what you guys experience in your takeaway is completely different than what's in my head. So I'm interested.
I mean, it's a little different in character, but I know in real life it reminds me of, and I don't remember what it is, but there's a city in the Middle East. It's just a very small city. It's obviously, very Muslim. And the person who runs it, like the mayor of it or whatever, has decided like, well, I want this city to be all white. Everything in it is white. I want everything in it to be shiny and white and clean. I guess he was a dentist at some point. So he was like, I want
race-wise. Oh, okay.
I was going to say,
like,
no. He's Diddy partying in the city, but
rounded.
not
okay.
the with the
rounded
bad parts.
hoods. Rounded hoods.
Yeah,
Got it.
right,
Yes.
yeah.
Mm.
So like all the buildings are painted white, everything's painted white, all the there's these very restrictive rules, like all the cars in it have to be white. So you can't drive a car into the city unless it's white. And so there's like a whole industry around having to like park your car outside the city, getting driven in by taxis that are all
Oh.
these white colors. And there's like this really restrictive, there's really other really restrictive rules like littering. Like you can't litter. If you litter, it's straight to jail, you know, like that doesn't happen. So the city is like really nice and really clean, but it's got this like, it's got that kind of like almost oppressive sort of like rule structure around it, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a lovely place to live, apparently.
Yeah, like it reminds me like in some way of like, oh, hello.
Hey, sorry.
When I like
feel the same way.
like visiting like or like traveling like cities like in the south sometimes, where it's like everyone's like really nice and friendly and everything, but like there's always sitting in the back of my mind, it's like, oh, like if they knew that I like wasn't straight and cis, like then that would immediately change. And like the fact that like, I'm even like only like getting that like feeling of like community and friendliness because I'm white, and it's like that sort of thing where it's like like as long as you are like this like very specific kind of person and like don't show that you could possibly be anything else, then you do well. But it's
in Aubrey you have to be in a particular mode, and I think for our characters that's hard.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, Logren is going in there specifically, I don't want to be there, I gotta go there, I gotta get some information out of somebody, this is
Not
gonna be
performing
rough.
heists.
Right, not performing heists. We're not here to steal anything. Wait a minute. Well, unless we need to, kind of a thing. But even Ruby is, probably I mean, it's hopefully noticeable, but it hasn't been discussed a whole lot. She's out of her mind, bored with all. It's so boring. It's so boring. All she wants to do is figure out some sort of magical graffiti thing with Chimera or something to happen. Just something. But the problem with Aubrey is, as characters. And as a group, well, no, let me say it this way. As players, I want to explore every part of Aubrey and know more about that and that and that and that and that and that. But as characters, we can't do that, or we would get thrown into something. Like if we're gonna
wood chipper.
If we're gonna find out more about those like super soldier type
those guys are
weirdos,
scary.
the only way to do that is if we get into some trouble doing so, probably. So it's like some of these things need to stay mysteries unless you know.
Which is honestly like I kind of love that,
Yeah.
like leaving mysteries in the world and stuff. And it's like, yeah, like especially when you're like still like relatively low level and everything, it's like there's just some things where it's like we can't investigate that, and like may not ever get back to it, and that's like just kind of neat.
There are things in Aubrey. I feel like we're coming back to Aubrey.
I feel
I mean, I feel like
I feel that
especially
way
because
too,
of like
yeah.
Logren's family and stuff, which is there, which I
true.
am so curious if there's going to be any run-ins accidentally with any of them with the rest of your stay there or not. So it's like I feel like there's like a clock ticking in the background.
Oh, there literally is, I think.
Yeah.
There literally is. I introduced that in the last. So
are
With
you
the
using
library.
clocks?
it not that they can see, but the longer they're in the city, the greater the percentile chance that they'll run into. So there are things happening that
That's so good.
Yeah.
Obviously, the more you travel through, like if they went to just Bonzo's and then left, the odds are very small. But the more they explore, the more. But okay, two things. One, yes, there's a bit of religious fundamentalism there and stuff like that, but strangely enough, they're not pushing it on people. Like at no point so far while you were in the city were you told to go to the church, even like it's like, hey, you should go check it out. Like you might meet a priest or something and talk to them and do something for them, but at no point are you like, you have to go, you have to do this.
Except for that like once a month thing.
There's no excluded races there's no inherently excluded races or jobs or anything like that beyond like necromancy and magic and stuff, the standard things. But I know I was treading a line with the heralds, the paladins. I know I'm treading a line with that, and I think they work so far because they're not there all the time. They're mentioned,
Yeah.
but there are very few run-ins with them. And like
yeah, which it makes it really good and like
Yeah.
really like extra spooky. It's just like
It's like
you
when
know-
you're in an RPG and you walk past a monster that you're like, that is not my level. I'm
Yeah,
going back
yeah,
over
you're like,
here
I haven't seen one
where
of those
the wolves
before.
are.
Yeah.
This might be. I don't know if anybody's going to get this reference. Has anybody watched The Prisoner?
Yes,
the show,
I'm watching
right?
it right now. I
Oh,
have like
great.
I'm almost at the end, but yeah,
So
yeah.
the
wow.
original Prisoner, where I mean, back in
it's
the
so good.
60s, right? And it's if you haven't watched it, please just go watch The Prisoner. It's really
It's
amazing.
so cool and it's so
Heard about
weird.
It's so surreal, so weird, and so amazing. And there's one thing about this show. I can't explain the whole thing, so I'm not going to try.
yeah,
But the thing is this: there's a person. He's there. He doesn't know why he's there. He's trying to figure it out.
Okay.
But there
Oh,
is
I'm in.
this weirdo.
Oh, this is good.
Oh, it's really good. There's this weirdo thing that comes and basically it's like if somebody tries to get out of there and like run, like think
Are
of it
you
as a
talking
prison.
about my precious
Rover.
boy, baby child Rover, who's the best
Yes.
dog who's ever existed? Yes, I love
so-
Rover so
I know
much.
for a fact you've talked to me about this show before because I looked it up and the link is purple for Wikipedia.
Oh, there you go.
like
So
yeah, it's like
anyway.
it like talks about so much stuff that like is like almost like looking into the future about like surveillance and like
Weird,
information
but-
control and everything. Like it's so
there's
cool.
this it almost feels magical, but this sort of like big balloon bubble type thing that just basically goes and grabs people that are trying to get out, and but that it only happens a couple of times in the entire series, but you just feel like they're always around, and that's what
The
the
effects
heralds are to
budget.
me. Yeah, oh, it definitely was. It was just an effects budget weirdness, but
yeah,
but it
it's-
makes it mysterious. It makes it kind of like
Sometimes-
this herald thing where it's like, you know what? If I get drunk, maybe I'd be okay. If I got drunk and smashed a window, there might be a herald next to me in like the next 30 seconds, and that feels oppressive and weird. And I kind of like that we don't know more about the heralds because of it.
And we just get that scene where it's just beating the crap out of that Stone Sunder like in an alley for
yeah,
being
and
But
raucous.
even that's
and-
off camera, so to speak. Like
Exactly.
even
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like just and I don't like obviously I don't know what your plans are, but so far I think we've done a really good job with the ethos of let's get to as much stuff as possible. We're doing I'm editing a Living in Theria now. We're going to be recording more. And one of the things I always hated about Living in Theory was I couldn't tell you guys more. And it's like, we'll get to it on the show. And then we just can't. There's too much. For every question, if we cut it down, there's two more to take its place. It's a hydra of questions. So, and that's great. I want you guys to ask questions. I want, players and listeners and everyone to be interested, but I want to give you more. So like getting to Aubrey and exploring as much as possible. But we know that there's so much more you could dig into, and that's just the knowledge part of it. What would you like to change about the city, if anything, if you feel like you could? Like, I'm really interested to see that. And every time you guys go to a new place, I want to do the same thing. Just like dig into it and really, I can't wait. I'm done rambling now. That was it.
Yeah, I'm also really curious. It's like I don't know if I don't think it's been mentioned yet, but like which of the gods they're like really into and stuff. Cause like what, like how that maybe aligns with it.
Is
'Cause,
it
like,
the next episode? Because
That's
we do
10.
ask that question.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do.
Okay.
And
I
That
will
does
look
get
forward to that
answered.
then.
We'll get there.
yeah, and it's mostly what god do you feel like you have the closest the closest affinity for? Like, what do you feel most connected to? But the church itself likes to pride itself on being pretty balanced. But yeah, you'll
Almost like
get
there's a god of balance.
exactly. Yeah. So
So
you'll
there you
get-
go.
yeah. Can I? Okay. I was Googling The Prisoner, and I have it on my to watch later. And since it's a mini series, perfect. I don't have
Yeah,
to
oh
watch
yeah,
12
it's
seasons of a thing. Perfect. I saw something that has nothing to do with us, but I wanna talk about it. So okay, Critical Role, right?
Heard of them?
Obviously, they are the marvel of what we do. They are the biggest, baddest. They've always been, right? And good for them. Awesome. They're doing a tour of Australia, and apparently to get a photo with all of the cast, it's 850 Australian dollars.
Whoa.
Crikey.
I find that to be fucking villainous. I don't know. Like, everyone's got to get paid. I know everyone's got to get paid, but holy fucking shit! Like, I don't know. That just seems insane to me. I would never charge someone for a picture, let alone, you know,
Never say never. I
Never say
mean,
never, but like I think, look, I would love to do the Dragon Con Walk of Fame one day and take a picture with my heroes, and I'd be willing to pay money for certain people.
Yeah.
As a podcaster, any more than 50, and you're pushing it. And I understand it's the whole cast; they're probably splitting up the profits. That's still $550 United States. I did the thing. So
for one picture. One picture.
That's
All right.
crazy.
I have
That's-
great
yeah.
news for anybody listening. For only $100 off, and you can get your picture taken with me.
Tell you what I'm gonna do.
Anytime. Just $100 fewer.
listen, I'm taking a screen. Everybody wave. I'm taking a screenshot of all of us here in the call. $20. Send it to me. My Venmo.
That's good.
I will send it to you immediately.
I
don't
have
know.
pictures of all of us together. I'll send them to
Yeah.
you guys. Just,
Yes.
just reach out to me.
Every Dragon Con, just wait for them to drop in the Discord page. And there we are.
Yeah, honestly, look, we're everywhere. Like,
You
like,
know what? That
Go ahead,
reminds
sorry.
me, not to go back to shitting on Critical Role, because like
I'm not
trying to
shitting
be
on
mean,
Critical Role.
but,
I
like,
know that this is
it
probably the
reminds
company
me-
they work for or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
It reminds me of like the 2010s beauty YouTuber thing. Like they
you
would
lost me.
charge like ridiculous amounts of money for pictures with them and stuff, and it's always like, why though? Like, I'd understand, again, the reason for the Dragon Con Walk of Fame thing is because they wouldn't be able to take pictures with everyone who wants a picture with them otherwise. Like,
Mhm.
that's the point of charging money for the most part. It's also because capitalism. But
Yep.
like,
If you're going to be spending a part of your life running to different conventions and getting your picture taken with people, you've got to be able to fund that. I get it, but also
Sure.
that's so much money.
that's so much.
But here's the thing: when's the last time Critical Role had to pay for their own plane tickets or their own hotel or their own fucking like? They don't do any of that. They haven't had to do that in 10 years, easy. Like, and that's fine. That's great. But it's not to pay for travel, and it's not to pay for lodging or food. You know, like, they have a different standard of living too. Most of them live in LA. It's a different thing.
Mhm.
I get it.
It's
I
an
saw
expensive
that.
town.
It's just insane to me. I don't know. I can't. I don't know. Anyway, ignore me. I'm sorry. I saw that, and the old man in me started barking.
They became
Anyways,
the
The Prisoner's
clouds.
a good show. And
Yeah,
The
I
Prisoner
will check
sounds
that out.
really, really neat.
yeah.
I love me a Kafka-esque setting and a reflection of concerns of 1960s
and it's
counterculture
the
and the
history-
far-reaching influence of popular culture and ultimately
the history of
develop
it
into
is
a cult
really-
following.
interesting too, because like the main like actor and like writer director like Patrick McGowan, like he was like he was the main actor in Danger Man, which is like, I think it even like predates James Bond, but it's like one of like the biggest like historical like British like spy television shows. And so like it definitely like that history like ties in to what he's doing with the prisoner and stuff. And there's just like it's
neat.
yeah, there's some really cool like stuff that just like it's a fun show.
So everybody in the chat and everybody in the call, we're all gonna watch Prisoner after this.
I think
okay?
so.
I
Yeah.
mean,
All of
honestly, worth it.
Yeah.
Just sit down.
Yeah.
That's like a-
But in the meantime,
ask-
DNR.
Can I? Yeah. Back to the show we'll do. Can
Yes.
Oh, good. It's on Tubi, guys.
Bree,
So
you have one job.
you guys, so you guys are running around having adventures, talking about the fort that you're from. what I'm curious about is with you guys doing this big travel across the continent, what's going to happen to those of us that are back at the fort that's been
I know,
named?
it's so funny. It's like you guys set up Frostbourne and then just ditch. Like,
Yeah.
Bye.
it's, I don't think, like, when you come back, it's not going to be your fort anymore because you haven't been there.
And we just keep sending people you guys'
Yeah.
way, knowing you'll take care of it.
Yeah. They'll come back and we'll go, who?
Yeah.
It's
They
our
are-
fort. It's our fort.
They
We
That's
survived
why-
the invasion of Aubrey. Where were you?
yeah. Frostbourne is very much the idea guy of
Yes.
the fort. Like, it's like, oh man, here's what we should do. Here's what, anyway, I gotta pick up debris and shit. Nah, I'm out. And they're doing stuff. They're absolutely doing stuff. But like, the second that thing had walls, they are gone. Like they were out. Like,
You guys' problem. Bye.
Oh,
Well,
dear.
I mean, Logren's got a plan.
ouch.
We're talking it up though. We're out there, we're putting on the face
Yes.
for it. So.
They're getting funding. That's what they're doing. They're doing their funding
Yeah,
around
we're
in
sending
Silicon.
people-
Like,
we are-
that's what they're.
We're sending
Uh-huh.
people with skilled tradesmen.
Yeah.
We're people with capabilities and skills and
Mhm.
They're
goods.
Yeah.
And
Get
they're
a
definitely
cart.
going to make it to us safely, I'm sure. I mean, the roads are completely, like, normal to
I mean,
travel
we just
on.
cleared it, so
Yeah,
we
yeah.
just made that trip. So there's
Fine.
no
Yeah.
other threats, right?
Yeah, you killed, like, 2 wolves, and that's it.
And
we got
a
rid of that
couple
ghost.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
couple
get rid of
ghosts.
the ghost.
You guys are going to hop on a cart so that your funding drive can literally be a drive.
I am very much looking forward to next month's crop of episodes. We have one in the can right now. And to give you guys a teaser, I think this is the most NPCs in a scene that you guys are interacting with constantly
I have a teaser.
ever. Please.
Okay.
Ooh, the glasses are coming off.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Ah!
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Oh!
Oh.
I won't lie, the
Nice.
headphones do take away from it, but like,
Yes,
I'm
I
sorry.
know.
You immediately whacking the mic with the
Oh,
beat
that
is
happened the
so-
first time I did it too. But
Amazing.
that's a feature, not a bug. That's
Yeah.
That's definitely your DJ Sona.
That's so
Yes.
good.
DJ Sue.
Fantastic.
that's a teaser.
Ooh.
I'm
All of you listening to this, very confused.
You're not allowed. But it's actually a visual gag, and it's really hard to explain. But basically, Plague Doctor mask, but shaped like a raven.
But bird.
Mhm.
Susan was a bird.
bird.
Is the breakdown of that. I think we're just about done, guys. If there's anything else, like, okay, I would love to open up extended rest to questions that
Yeah.
that any of you guys have, that the listeners have. I would love to like kind of make this a little more interactive in that way, I guess, just because it helps remind us if there's something you guys are after. Like, it's like, oh, what's happening in the Divide? What's happening? Because we're talking about that in the next episode. It kind of
Indian
helps us.
Forest, Jason.
Well, yes, I'm referring to it in it. Yes, but how dare you? No, it's the pushing your glasses up afterwards.
That's good.
Something you wrote and I corrected.
Honestly, that's half your job when we do book stuff. Is just, hey, make this sound like a smart person did it, Susan. Thanks. Like, so if you guys go, G Soto, was the elf? Okay, hold on. Let's bring you over here. Woo! Was the Elven family one that DNR had interactions with in the past arcs? I forget the name.
Elsa Sorrow.
No. So we're talking about ghosts.
Oh yeah.
No. They're on the periphery but didn't get a huge spotlight. So I wanted to kind of slip something in that would be like, hey, that's something. And to be honest, there were 3 things like that on the way there that you guys walked past. So like I was ready. I'm always ready for you guys to just walk past that stuff. And that one you just wanted to explore for whatever reason that, I was ready for you
Ghosts.
guys.
Ghosts
Yeah,
are
but like
cool.
I never know what it's going to be. I never know if it's going to be like, hey, I don't want to mess with a ghost because of that stat block, or I don't want to mess with a ghost because I don't want to be cursed, or you know what I mean? Like, you guys are very good at not metagaming, but there's always a bit of it's self-preservation, I guess, at level 1 and 2. Like, you're just kind of like,
Yeah. It's not even metagaming at that point. It's like looking across the street when you're crossing the road.
Yeah.
I have a
Jasper,
question.
you're muted.
I am muted. I was about to say, no, that just made me think about all the things that we miss. Like you were talking about Aubrey, basically the last 3 episodes have been sort of Aubrey centric, which for good reasons. There's more to come. I feel like playing a video game like, I don't know, like Witcher or whatever it is, there's a lot of quests, there's a lot of stuff, and I always feel really, really, really like an itch in my brain if I feel like I haven't done them all. Like,
oh, I'm
I want to know. No. It's more like our characters as players, we're going to leave Aubrey fairly soon to move on to other things. We're not going to stick around in Aubrey forever, hopefully. But the problem is that as a player, there's so much we haven't found out about Aubrey, that we're never going to find out about Aubrey, that I want to find out about it, that I want to come back to Aubrey. Like, it's just like all the extra quests and all the extra NPCs and all the extra stuff to find out of it. And what about the sewers of Aubrey or whatever?
The underground fight clubs
What
of Aubrey.
about the
Right.
sewers?
And what kind of
Anyway.
farming situation did they have set
I'm not
up?
saying-
Like,
and this is
Now
not-
they're closed
Jason-
in. Like, yeah.
Yeah, this is not saying you're not throwing something at us. I'm simply saying that we're on a story, we're on a narrative, not on a rails at all.
No.
But we're trying to get in and out. More or
By
less.
nature of the story we're telling, there's only so much
Yeah,
time.
I mean, we're not going to go every square inch of any
Sure.
city, and that makes me sad.
Yeah.
I
I
need
fill
y'all
out that map.
I need y'all
Yes.
to get to Brightport because I'm so curious. I mean, just that's the city. I feel like I spent like 2 whole arcs in Brightport, and like especially
Yeah.
by the end of the last arc, it's like I'm so
You did
curious
some
what the effects
stuff.
of all that stuff were. Yeah.
And that's where she's from.
I
So
know, it's like
and
that's-
I don't know all of the stuff about Brightport. This will be exactly the kind of thing when we get to Brightport. It'll be, Jason, would Ruby know this? Well, here's what Ruby would know, kind of a thing.
There's
You'll
I'm
be handed a
excited for that.
dossier. Like,
I
I
hope
hope
so.
there was some talk in the previous arc where it was mentioned that there was a young dragon being held captive in Esterholt, and there's a very big dragon that was like, we're gonna do something about that, and nothing. We've heard nothing about that yet.
I know. Ah, man. So,
I love when you can tell Jason has like something that he's excited about but can't say. It's like
Yeah.
okay. So,
Your restraint is amazing.
don't praise my restraint. I'm not the man that.
Your restraint is vaguely adequate.
Thank you. That's all I shoot for in work, in life, in marriage. Just vaguely adequate. That is what I'm. So, here's the thing. I want more than anything to give you guys all the stuff that you're after. We're wrapping up the book in the writing terms, and then like I have a big Kickstarter post to make soon. We're wrapping up stuff. Jasper it's all in layout now. Like, there will be a book soon. Then we have to get it printed. That's different. There's a big meeting we're gonna have about tariffs and
I was gonna
paper stock and all kinds of fun things. But
Can we get old newspaper?
what I wanted to do is have a section of Patreon where every month it's just, here's a write-up about this. And what I was waiting for was us to have artwork, to have like, here's a little map for, but what I might start doing is just starting in June, like, here's a bunch of stuff about Aubrey, whether it be lore stuff, stat blocks for heralds, whatever it is, like, just give people stuff to play with at home and do that every month. So instead of waiting for like a book, which we're never going to kickstart again, not like that, ever. Like, the world's too unpredictable. But I do like getting a bunch of stuff together and then like releasing it in packs or something for people just to like play with at home. I would love to do that.
And they compile it all into one book that we kickstart later. And then we clip what you just said.
No, because then all the money goes into the printing cost because it's already put together.
That's bingo.
Look, that's a problem for future us. Fuck those guys. Oh God, there were other questions. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, there were.
Okay. I don't think we've come to. This is from Pajama Party. I don't think we've come into contact with any Warforged. What's happening with them? Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
What was that?
We will be coming into contact with Warforged very soon. And
That's exciting.
they're different. They're different, and it kind of crosses paths with something the book did, which was very cool. So, Ian Publishing, the people who make A5E, they have a section for Warforged, but just like what they did for things like the Adept, which is monks, but you can make a boxer or an MMA fighter or a bar brawler. It doesn't have to be mystical.
Yeah.
They did the same thing for Warforged. They call them something different because copyrights. But they're modular and they do different things and they have different tasks and I can't wait to explore that. And Brightport's going to be fucking nuts. Oh no, what did I say? What did I say in here?
Oh, nothing.
No, nothing.
Oh, Ian Publishing.
Whenever you say EN Publishing, and I always hear you saying Ian Publishing,
Yeah,
I'm like,
I hear that
when did he
too.
do that? You legend.
Way to
Every
go,
time I hear the
Ian.
word adjacent,
Right on.
it pricks me in the back of the head. I'm like, what? Where? Like,
All right, everyone,
what-
last question. What's your favorite sandwich? That's from Laughing Coffins Guild.
I love
Cuban.
a nice Italian. I love a nice Italian sub with no veggies. Ugh.
I gotta get specific as hell. There's a place in the north and northwest suburbs. There's 2 locations called Rammy's. They have a sandwich called a 2x4, which is basically kind of an Italian sandwich. It's 2 cheeses, 4 meats. They put it through a grill. It's so good. It's so good. Jason, you ever come to Chicago? I gotta bring you there. I don't have a choice.
You know what's crazy is I feel like I've eaten the best of what Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York has to offer, which is to say New Jersey. Pennsylvania and New York are so disappointing to me. Like, everything outside the major cities they have is fucking garbage and Amish. Those two they're not tied together. It's just, that's what Pennsylvania has a lot of. So I feel like Chicago is my last unexplored horizon when it comes to food. And look,
I know.
No,
Susan,
you're right.
okay. Look, I know all of you
American
people
food,
are
let's
thinking, I'm never going to travel outside the country. I can barely afford to live here. So I'm setting, like, when I was like 18, this guy ain't going to college. Like, you know what I mean? You got to set your standards and then live within those.
Okay, come to Florida. I'll get you some Cuban food and some Puerto Rican food, and we will have a throwdown, and it'll be so good.
I'm sure it will.
That sounds great.
I'm sure it will. I would love that. I have to go to Florida for it, but I still.
Hey, I'm here. Ryan's here. Val's here. We will insulate
know.
you from the rest of Florida.
Thank you. Yes, I do appreciate that. You
My
guys still got
favorite
Governor
sandwich.
Puss in Boots? You still got him? Like,
Yes.
okay, all right.
That's too cute a name. I don't like that because that's a cute name. Fuck that.
I like to call
Kelsey, what's your
guys who
favorite
think.
sandwich?
My favorite sandwich is from a place around here in Arlington called the Lost Dog Cafe, which is really cool because they like like work with like local like animal shelters and stuff,
Aw.
and like do stuff. But also their food is so good. My favorite sandwich from them is called also like most of their food is named after like dogs and stuff. So it's my favorite is the Roddy, which is garlic chicken, bacon, melted mozzarella, fresh avocado, and garlic mayo on like a toasted sub roll. It's so
Garlic mayo.
I
Yeah.
bet it's
Susie said
delicious.
that.
Uh-huh.
I would not trust the meat at a place that names everything after dogs, but I'm sure it's delicious.
Ryan.
Sorry.
No. It's
We'll say Roddy isn't the best name for a sandwich, but I understand it's a dog, so it's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me think of Piper. So like it's like, man, that's going to be like a fierce sandwich that cuts great promos. I can't wait to eat it. Like it's.
No, I have to watch They Live again.
Guys, I think we're just about done. I want to thank everybody out there in the chat for joining us. God, next Saturday, if we sound punchy, most of us are. It's been a very busy month, and we're all still getting ready for Theriathon. 12 hours, and you can watch a man slowly deteriorate on stream. Every year we do it.
Fun.
It's very fun.
So fun. Yeah.
It's the best.
And
I'm really looking forward to it.
I can't wait to play with you guys, and I can't wait to hang out with you guys in the chat. And I think that's it. Does anyone else
think
have
so.
anything?
I
That's
don't
it.
think Susan got to say her
All right.
favorite sandwich, and she started to.
Oh,
And I
Cuban.
feel bad. Cuban.
No,
okay.
it's a Cuban.
So-
Tampa makes the best Cubans, so come
Okay,
on down.
All
A-
right.
A
I thought you
Cuban
meant
is a good
Cuban food.
sandwich.
Okay.
I don't know
That's
what's
all.
in a Cuban.
Oh gosh, I don't want to
But
do
This is
it
one of
with
those
my
things that
hands.
has a
It's-
name.
It's
that's
pork and pickles.
Yeah, but it's like
and mustard
mojo
and
pork
cheese
and yeah.
Okay.
It's-
Okay.
Good stuff. G Soto says good stuff isn't a Cuban.
Okay. This
Yeah.
sounds like
True.
one of those meats that are marinated for a week straight and it falls
Oh
apart.
yeah,
and
it's
okay.
roasted pork. It's like
Yeah.
it's the way the Cubans do it. It's like a roasted in a special blend, and then it's like shaved
Ah.
off, and then it
Like in a
has
smoker
ham
for
and
a-
Swiss
yeah,
cheese.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in.
And then it's
I'm in.
usually pressed.
Sweet.
Okay.
Sorry, I brought it back around. It's just Susan started to say and then got cut off, and I felt really bad. So.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right. I like tuna
Uh,
melts. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I love a good honey mustard. Okay. Okay,
Ooh,
I'm in.
yeah.
Mhm.
Guys, thank you so much. We will
Thank
see
you,
you next
guys.
week with Theriathon. Also, keep an eye out for the next episode. There's some big stakes. I think you guys are really gonna like it. So,
Mhm.
Are the steaks part of the sandwich?
Different stakes.
hey, this is late notice. You will not be needed at Theriathon. We're
That's fair.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Chad.
Bye.
Bye.